Morning, Daryl. It's 1:40 in the morning, West Coast time, 3rd of November, 2023. You know me, the Weaver, John C. of Roseman, California, the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. You had posed a question, dude. Last video you did regarding Steve Tyler sued. If you could go and sit down for about an hour and talk to somebody in heaven, who would I talk to? And at first, I thought you were out of your bloody mind. And it hit me. It was the one person in my life I really wanted to get answers from. I really, really wanted to find out what the hell happened. And that would have been my biological sperm donor. His friends called him Jack, but his name was John Weaver. He had a middle name of Elmer. Take a look at the initials. And that's what he was afraid of. Apparently, at the time he was living in, I guess maybe he didn't like the idea of being called a Jew. Was he Jewish? I don't know. I never had that pop up in the conversations I had with my mama or my brother. But for the longest period of time, a long period of time, I hated that bastard. I didn't understand. There was a lot of anger towards the abandonment. Why? Why did he leave me? Why of all of this? My mother had already had my brother. She had already divorced my brother's father, Harry Shaw. Ooh. She was a teenage beauty queen, but she didn't get a chance to go through high school and finish it. She got married way too young and had my brother. But he was also one of us, Earl. I guess war changes people a lot. One day she was being beaten up. She decided to do payback. Took David and left. Filed for divorce. Several years later, they wound up in California. She met my father. My father apparently was quite the ladies' man. Smart, intelligent, good looking, talented. An engineer and musician, and a magician, if I understand the story correctly. He had patents concerning about a device that he got rich off of. Had a yacht. Wooed my mama. And off the coast of Catalina. You ever heard of the love child? But I guess as soon as she told him that I was pregnant, actually, scratch that, that she was pregnant with me, he disappeared. My mama was stuck delivering me without him, apparently. My mother found a phone number from him, called him up. During that time, they were getting checks for support, child supports. But he never wanted to deal with me. Even during my heart surgery situation at the age of 4, you know, didn't want to deal with me. Could have, but he didn't. Should have been there. I mean, hell, he was there for my brother, but he wasn't there for me. My brother seemed to be, he was a good man. Maybe. But to me, he was an asshole. age of 5 years old, my mother calls him, introduces me to him. I introduce myself to him, and he hangs up on me. Who is this? This is your son, John. Who? Your son, John Weaver. Click. Hello? Hello? Ma hung up on me. Why did he hang up on me? Why did the fucker hang up on me? So all my life, I never knew the answer. I figured out one. Fear. Well, fear is a hell of a motivator right there. Fear is a major motivator of staying away from things you didn't want to deal with and people you didn't want to deal with. And did he ever thought of potential anger issues I was going to have down the road? I never had a chance to pursue him. My brother had told me one time that he knew some private investigators. Now, my father came from back east, up in your territory, New England area. I discovered there's too many John Weavers. He dropped his middle name. Elmer. Not Elmo, Elmer. And that was it. Disappeared off the face of the earth. Either he got killed or buried somewhere, or had another life with another family, and probably did the same damn shit to him. Whatever his reason, I never knew. So it's been a lifelong resentment against the bastard. But I've been trying to still think it's fear that kept him away. And in this lifetime, I'll never know the answers. So if I actually had an hour to deal with the spirit in heaven, or maybe it's from hell now, I don't know, to understand why. What did I do to scare the hell out of him? What was his major malfunction to be scared of me? Was it responsibility of dealing with a kid, or dealing with a kid with a bad ticker and health conditions? Ma was not a virgin when he met her, so he tolerated my brother. Did he love my mama? Did he truly love her? Or is it just a fancy? To this day, I had not been contacted. To this day, I don't know who to contact about it. I have no leads. I have nothing. So the only thing I would have to say is, his progeny, if he has any, if he has any kids, I'm surprised they hadn't tried to locate for me. Locate me. But here's the thing: would I have been able to accept it or not? If he's dead, Daryl, I can't do a damn thing about it. If he's still alive, it's a different story altogether. And that opens up the decisions, aren't they? I mean, they're different pathways at this point. You think I can be a royal son of a bitch, a royal son of a bastard, actually, and go after him with everything else I got, or anything I got? Try to sue the shit out for inheritance, if there was any. But the only thing I kept was his last name. I don't have his skills. I don't. I'm a storyteller. I'm not a very good one, but I'm a storyteller nevertheless. I like science fiction. I like science. I can study nature a little bit. Not for the scientific, but just for the aesthetic beauty. I had been afraid to commit to relationships. Afraid to be like my father. I never was a ladies' man. I appreciate music, but I can't play a damn note. Sang in a choir, flat, neutral, and whatever. They say I got a good voice, but without proper teeth, I guess, doesn't matter much. I got a love for literature. I can't remember some lines, but I can remember some literature. I'm 57, growing older. More broken down. But still struggling. I'm a dog lover. I know the dogs can pick up people's fears and feelings. That's why I try to stay away unless I'm in a completely relaxed state and I see the dogs. And it's going to be up to them to decide whether or not they want to seek assistance or something. I'm a family man. I mean, I like kids. I tolerate them. Eventually, I'll grow into caring about them a great deal. I didn't want to be the kind of father that abandons his kids. I just have to go and grow with it. Never much of a father figure. I deal with my dog all the time. But I don't know what other kind of traits my father has. I've only got one picture of him and my mother, and that's about it. My mother had a bouffant, big ass hairdo during those days. I guess it was the rage back in the 60s. She was a beautiful woman back then. But as for knowing my father, I don't know if he was a kind-hearted man or if he was a sorry son of a bitch. I don't know who he was. I know a few things about him, and that was about it. At one time, he was part of the Magic Castle out here in Hollywood, California. My mother kept telling me about the patents he had concerning about certain devices that we still use in a common place. He created them, sold off the patents to Sweetheart Cup Corporation back then, and had profit. And he played instruments. I have I have an ear for music. I just can't play them. I appreciate it. I have a love for water, and I've been seasick once as a kid. But bigger boats, no problem. I just got to get used to the motion of the ocean. Besides that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I was not the smartest kid in school. Wasn't the dumbest either, just average. Somebody kept telling me how special I was. Well, shit. Some special kid. What was special about me in the first place? Not a damn thing if I can understand it. And yeah, I was a computer geek. I liked computers. Still do. Just not handy programming stuff. Tried basic. Logical steps. God, it drove me nuts. I like the graphics and everything else about it. I mean, I can operate the damn computer fine, but when it came down for programming, oh, me and Basic were like, but I tried. I struggled. Barely got out of computer classes in high school anyway. But I wasn't afraid of the damn things. Hell, I'm using electronic games. I'm not afraid of a damn computer. Shit. Pounding keyboards a lot of my time. So I'm used to them. And me doing video for past few years, well, I call that weird. I never was much of a video guy, but now in the mornings I just do my videos and whatever kind of I have opinions of. But this was well after Dave died. I wasn't doing any videos when Mama was still alive or after that. But after David died, I needed the outlet. Here's my videos. Here's my channel. Well, what comes down from my father? I always called him a biological sperm donor, Daryl, because that's who he was. He was a hit and run guy. He hit on my mother, got her pregnant, and ran. Never looked back. So yeah, lifelong resentment and confusion over this bastard. Why? What was so special about Ma that you had to get her knocked up? And why the hell did you run? Why the hell did you run, you son of a bitch? You left a kid growing up, hating you, resentful towards father figures half the time, wanting someone else to be a father figure, but never the poor schmuck who sired me. There was a lot of anger issues on that one, Daryl. There was a lot. Oh, I'm still feeling it to this day. But I'm trying to understand if it was just basically fear, I could buy that. That there was something else about it, and I don't know. If there was something else about his own genetic history or his own personal history, something about it. I know nothing. I have zero clue on this. So if I was going to talk to somebody for about an hour in heaven, if he is, he could have been down below and I'll never see him. But if it was in heaven, maybe in an hour, oh man, I'd be throwing questions after this guy and I'd be wanting to suck out the knowledge out of his damn head. I wanted to find out the motivations. I want to get the understanding. I want to know why. I mean, hell, for decades I prayed to God about this one. I never got an answer out of it. I don't know where to start. It's been too damn long. Dude, it's been 57 years. It's been 52 years since I heard from the bastard. I don't know. If he's got kids, they're not looking for me. If there's lawyers out there, they're not looking for me. Anything regarding my father, nobody's looking for me. John Cameron Weaver, that's my name. I was born in Downey, California, back in '66. My mother was Ellen Ray Shaw. But people called her Mary Ann. Even her own family called her Mary Ann. But she was born legally Ellen Ray because that's how her father wanted it a long time ago. I never even knew my own grandfather. I knew Grandma, I knew Aunt May, but I never knew my grandpa. He died a year before I was born. So that's another thing in my file right there. Besides that, I don't know. Somebody want to tell me about my own damn dad? I don't know too much stories about my old man. I have no clue. So it wouldn't be rock bands or anybody else. The only person I would want to talk to in heaven for about an hour just to get a straight answer from his my own biological sperm donor. The guy who did my ma and then ran like an idiot, like the coward he is. Anyway, guess I had to get that one off my chest. Talk at you later, Daryl.